work with a lot of buyers. Am I right? Give me a virtual thumbs up. Remember, this is where you want to interact. Don't be a secret agent because nobody's gonna know about you. If I don't know about you, you're a secret agent. I need to know about you, right? So that we can help you. This is a place, it's a safe place. We don't share this with everybody. This stays, we just keep it for our records to play it back. Because I know all of you guys got nuggets here. All of you guys bring value here. And we all just need to help each other out. This is the whole purpose of this call, is to help each other out, get unstuck from not picking up the phone. Now, remember, I talk about this all the time, guys. Technology is great. I know Jesse's huge in technology. I know I am. I have 4 different CRMs. The best thing is to call somebody. You could have your automation, you could have your videos, you could have your ringless voicemail, you could have your autopilot robot. The best thing to do is you're gonna have to talk to somebody. And that's where you're gonna perform. That's why it's better to make the mistakes here on this call so that you don't do it in front of a client. Because you cannot afford to lose a client right now. All listings count. I don't care if you have 20 listings, all listings count. To me, they all matter to me. It's very important, right? I'm going to go right away to Miguel. Miguel, can you help me here? I know you're new on scripts and role play. I know you come from another office, which I'm not going to mention. Can you tell me in the last 24 hours what I told you? How do you feel when it comes to role playing?
Um, how do I feel, or what you told me?
Both. It's a follow-up question after.
Well, it makes me uncomfortable because, well, my part is that it makes me uncomfortable because of the acting, pretending. I don't mind speaking in front of people, but when I have to pretend, that's when I get a stage fright. But you told me consistency, um, and you just get better at it. Feeling uncomfortable, you get over it.
So, real quick, what do you mean by pretending? Tell me more about that. What does that mean?
You can't explain it. I just get I guess nervous, stage fright. When I have to kind of act, pretend that I'm an agent, pretend that I'm a buyer. It's not real. I'm sure it's psychological, but yeah, it's just I can't. Yeah, it just you just get the stage fright, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it.
Okay, let me help
When
you
it's
out there.
real, when I'm really talking to a person, I'm really concentrating. I'm really thinking of how to handle objections. I'm really concentrating. But when I'm saying I'm a seller, I guess I can't concentrate.
So, here's the thing, brother. You are an agent. This is real. Okay? Can we all agree here when you guys see an actor, I'll use Will Smith, for example, in the movie Bad Boys. These guys make 20 million plus a movie, right? They all have to read scripts to become that actor or that character in the movie, right? They have to internalize the script in order to perform in front of the camera. Now, your script as a realtor, because you are a realtor and you have a license, you're not pretending to be fake. I think what's happening here is you are creating your own objection and confusing a condition with an objection because it's 2 different things, right? For example, if you're calling somebody who is an expired, you're calling them because that was somebody that had plans to sell their house. Now, I truly believe we got into real estate to help people and build relationships. The whole adding the house and getting paid, that's just a bonus. But the reality, I got into real estate was to help other people, right? To achieve the American dream. To some of them, this is the American dream, right? To us, real estate, some of us, it's a vehicle to do something else. But whatever the case is, Miguel, I think what you got to understand is the script is a guide to a great conversation. It's not for you to become a fake salesperson or for you to manipulate people into doing something they don't want to do, or so that you can trick somebody and play psychology games to have them sign on the dotted line. That is not the purpose of the script. The purpose of the script is so that you know if an objection comes up like, Miguel, I don't want to pay a buyer agent. Boom, you respond to it. You don't react like, hey, I completely understand, Mr. Seller. Did you know these are your options to paying a commission? Whatever the case is, right? That's just for you to learn, to educate yourself. Because if I ask you, Miguel, and you come to my house and I'm selling $1 million plus house and I'm giving you my biggest asset and trusting you that you're a real estate professional, and I ask you, Miguel, I've been seeing CNN consistent negative news saying that I don't have to pay Arlen to buy my house as an agent. What are you going to tell me? And I'm trusting you with my biggest asset. Right? You got to learn. You got to give. Remember, the script is also to keep your client at ease. It's stressful selling a house. Super stressful. They say that the biggest things that stress people is public speaking, thinking about dying, and selling their house and having a baby. Those are the things that really stress us.
Getting married.
I'm sorry? I think Sharon said getting married.
Yes.
Yes.
Damn, I thought that was a blessing. Hey, I'm going to use that, getting married. But Miguel, what you got to understand, back to you, is remember, if I'm role playing with you, and you come up with a lot of ahs, and you keep repeating one word, and I don't feel confident that you can sell my house, I'm not gonna list with you. Plain and simple. Versus if I call, for example, let's say Jesse Morfin, I know that guy's sharper than a blade of a samurai. He's gonna hit every question I ask him. He's gonna hit it. And remember, the more you bang that piñata, eventually the candy will come out. Right? So right now you are targeting expires and for sale by owners. Did you know an expired is going to be somebody who's going to be very upset that their house didn't sell? And it could be a lot of things, right? We always say this, oh, it's the agent's fault. Not necessarily. It could be the seller's fault, right? The most thing that I can tell you, it's probably the price or the condition of the house and the location. Before I even say it's the agent. Right? You don't want to say that, because what happens if it's the agent's wife or husband selling the house? Then you piss them off because they're already mad. Another thing is an expired, somebody that had plans to sell maybe during summer and move themselves to Arizona and be there for the winter, and that didn't happen. Or they didn't get a job promotion, right? Now, an NOD, you guys know what NODs are, notice of defaults. A lot of people right now are still suffering because of the COVID. There's a lot of people that haven't been able to bounce back. Now, I truly believe, and you guys could chime in, the banks got smart. They know that a lot of houses right now have equity. So I truly believe, I think what they did is they just added, I believe, quote me if I'm wrong, another 10 years to whatever their loan was. I think they attach another 10 years and they're charging an extra 10 years instead of 30 years. I think that was the route they went. Now, if you guys tell me I'm wrong, let me know. I want to make sure I'm coming up with the right information, but those are the two type of people you're calling. So when you go visit an NOD, if they're not there, of course, I told you, you leave them a letter with the options of saving their house with your information on a yellow envelope with a stamp that says final notice. So that when they get home, because you're not the only realtor visiting them, they could get rid of all those flyers and business cards and they keep yours, and they're actually going to open it, because we all know here, we all got a ticket before. All of us in this call has gotten a ticket at least once in your lifetime. And if you probably didn't pay that ticket, it became a bench warrant, Jesse, and it says in a yellow envelope, final notice, or you're going to have a bench warrant. And we're all going to open up that envelope, right? That's why that's a tactic, to put the letter inside of an NOD so that you get a call back. But an NOD, we all know, is somebody that cannot pay their house and they can't bounce back. So your job is to really help them see what options they have.
Dries, can you call Nick? He's calling me.
Hey, Sharon, how are you, Sharon? Okay, Sharon hit the mute button. So that's where I'm at, Miguel. But believe me, brother, try the 90 days, use the scripts. I'm telling you, they're gonna work for you in your favor, and you're gonna be awesome when you use one of those little nuggets on your next phone call. Cool? Awesome. Anybody else has any questions or a role play they want to do? I'm ready to role play.
Hi, I, this is Sharon again. I do absentee owners.
Okay.
And so what I found with absentee owners, most of them, they don't want to sell their house, is number one. A lot of the addresses I have are for mothers or fathers and whatever. So most of the time, I don't really need a script because I don't ever get that far into the conversation other than, hi, I'm Sharon. I want to know, are you the owner of this property? And then and I say, will you consider selling your house? After that, I really kind of lose them. I don't know how to maybe encourage them to speak more about it, or should I stop them and make them think about what they're saying? So I kind of lose them at that point.
Great question. Okay, here I'm gonna answer that in two parts. So did you guys know statistics say that when a male makes a call on a cold call, right? Because she's doing cold calling. These people are not expecting her call. She's interrupting their day. Sharon, you got literally 7 seconds before I hang up on you versus Miguel calling me. I'm gonna hang up on him on 5 seconds, right? Because your voice is more soothing. So I think your introduction when you call somebody, right? For example, remember you're calling them without them knowing you're calling them. So that's number one. You got to put that in your mind. Okay, I'm disturbing these people's day. They don't know I'm calling. Number two, your introduction needs to be tight and concise. Hello, is this the owner of 123 Main Street? Yes, it is. Great. My name is Sharon. The reason for my call is, don't ask me, how are you today? Nobody cares. Remember, you only got a few seconds before I hang up on you. If you call me asking me how am I already know you're either a robot calling me or you're trying to sell me something. Right?
Right.
Here's the next one. Why are you calling me? You got to go straight into it. The reason I'm calling you is I got a buyers looking in your area and I see that you're the owner. Have you ever thought about selling? Right? You want to ask them if they thought about selling. You also want to do a little bit more fact finding. Find out if that house is clean and clear. Right? The reason they probably are not selling yet is because they're collecting rent from it. And that's where the wholesaler finance comes in, which is another conversation another day. But what are your thoughts so far, Sharon?
Well, I don't come in. I come in quick and clean. I state my name. I ask them. I verify are they the owners, and then I go straight to the question: would you consider selling your house in today's market? Simple as that. So most of the conversation is pretty much either yay or nay.
All right. What about we do this? Let's role play. Call me.
Okay.
Let's do this. Ready?
Okay.
Ring the phone.
Okay. I'm ring, 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 ring.
Bueno.
That one too. They say hablo español. That one I lose a lot of people because I'm like, I said, do you speak English? No. Okay, bye-bye. So I mean, you know what I'm gonna do. But let's go back.
Okay, let's go back.
Let's go back.
Okay, let's make it realistic. Let's go.
Okay, right. Because I know what the gentleman who was talking about pretending. I get what he's saying. Most of us, when we're role playing, we're not going to give you the pushback we get from the people on the phone.
Oh, I'm going to make it hard on you. I'm not going to.
Oh, no. Then I don't know if I want to do. I already.
No. Wait.
Yeah. Okay.
I gotta make it hard on you so it feels real. I can't be. I don't want to be fake, like Miguel says.
Right.
Because the call's not going to go that way.
Right. Absolutely right.
But what I'm gonna do is two things. I'm gonna let you go as far as you can, and then we're gonna do it again, and I'm gonna be real. Cool?
Okay.
All right, go for it. This is just the regular one. Let's go.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sharon, your local realtor. See, because we're doing this. Wait a minute. Let me start over.
Okay, just keep going though. Okay, let me tell you this: when an artist or a comedian is messes up on the joke, keep going. Just keep going. Ready? Go for it.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, this is Sharon, your local realtor. I'm calling to see if you're the owner of 234 West Boulevard Street in Inglewood.
Yes, I am. How can I help you?
Oh, that's great. I was just wondering, would you consider selling this property now in today's market with the prices being so high?
Oh, absolutely not. I'm sorry. I'm keeping the house for my family.
And that's when I say, oh, I can understand. Okay, I can understand that keeping the house for your family. Do you have any other property that you might consider selling?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I do. But you know what, Sharon? You just called me in the bad time. I'm about to walk into Costco. Can you call me later?
Okay, what would be a good time for you?
Just later on. Call me later, maybe around 5.
5 o'clock?
Yes.
And you would consider selling this other property?
Click.
Right. That
Okay. So
right.
it's all good. It's all good. And remember, guys, all of you guys, some of you guys here are badasses. All of you that I know, the ones that I don't know, I want to get to know you. Please open up your mic and give Sharon some nuggets here. I know
Thank
Jesse,
you.
Alex, Arlen, Benjamin. I'm talking to the ones that have the camera live. Okay, so if I don't call your name, don't take it personal. I'm just going with the ones that are live in the Zoom call. So, Arlen, boom, I go to you first. What would you tell Sharon that she did? Let's do the sandwich effect, right? You criticize and you give her something good, and then you criticize again.
Yeah, no worries. All right, Sharon. So the first thing would be like, be better prepared. If I'm calling you and pay attention to what they're telling you. Alfred said, I'm leaving this for my family.
Right.
Great. Alfred, so I'm going to assume you're leaving this for your kids. He's gonna say yes. May I ask how many kids you have? One, two, three, right? I said, well, I see here that you have a single family or a duplex. Would you be open to the idea of leaving your kids something bigger? And by that I mean selling this property and buying 5, 6, 10, 15 units versus the single family or this duplex. Because I can show you how we can make this property grow into something bigger so that you live a bigger legacy.
Good thought. Good thought.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Really good.
beautiful.
That's
There we
good.
go. That's some nuggets.
That
Ready?
is.
All right, Benjamin, you're up next. Oh, Mr. IE. I don't think Mr. IE can hear me. Jesse, what you got? Maybe Jesse's in a meeting. Jesse, can you hear me?
One.
You,
Me.
Jesse the ghost.
Got it.
Which one?
Got it. All right. Sharon, awesome job. So one of the first things that, we have to acknowledge is that we are speaking to the right person, right? So you're right. Hi, this is Jesse. I was calling about your property on J Street. You don't have to say the entire number. I'm just calling about the property on J Street. Yeah, what about it? Oh, I was just, wondering if you guys were thinking of selling or would you guys consider a cash offer right now?
Okay. That part I don't use. I don't. So would you consider a cash offer right now? I don't say that.
Now, just like Arlen said, Arlen's, when he brought up, well, no, not right now. I'm going to leave that for my family. So you already did the homework, just like Arlen, mentioned. But here's the deal: they're out-of-state owners, absentee owners. They're out of state, right?
Right.
Or out of the area. So the next possible solution is, great, Sharon. So where's your family from? What?
We live in the Riverside area.
Okay, so you guys live in Riverside, right? So it
Right.
literally takes you 2 hours to get to your property in Long Beach.
Correct.
What about we relocated that property, that asset into something bigger in Riverside so that your family, your kids don't have to travel as far?
Mm.
And let me tell you, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because I come with that same, problem. My kids aren't going to be able to purchase in Long Beach. And now it sounds like your grandchildren are here in Riverside with you. So it would be more of a logical transition for you to be closer to your property for your kids, right? Because the
Right.
last thing you want to happen is, for you not to be with us and not have the property in a trust and have your kid call someone like me and just sell it for 60 cents on the dollar. So what I want to do is I want to create that legacy, maximize your return, not only for you, but for your kids, because that's what it sounds like is really important to you, right?
Right.
So I know you're busy right now. You told me you were walking into Costco. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send you some marketing information on your property. What is your email?
It's Sharon Dillard at yahoo.com.
Got it. Okay, so I got your email. I'm calling you on your cell phone number. Have a great evening. I'm going to give you a call back tomorrow at this time, just so you could we can talk about what it is that I sent you. Fair enough?
That's fair. That's
All right.
fair.
Hey, thanks, Sharon. Great job.
So what I'm not doing is I'm not engaging them after they say the no. I'm not interested in selling the property. I don't engage them any further. That's the issue for me.
May I ask why, Sharon? Why?
I guess because when they say no, they're so adamant about it.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, they're like, I've lived in this property 30 years. I'm not about to sell. One lady, she said, yeah, I'll sell it. I'll sell it. You got $7 million, you know, things like that. So
Yeah.
they're very adamant, like, or this is you know, I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting ready to retire. These are the kind of this is what I get from them.
Yeah.
It-
So
Keep in mind, Sharon, that you know you're a total stranger, and you're
right,
out of nowhere calling them about selling their potentially biggest asset that they have, that they're holding on to it, you know, and leaving it behind for the kids, right? Sometimes, you know, it's always good to come from a place of contribution, a place of caring. And, you know, when he said, I'm gonna leave this to my kids, and I said, Alfred, that's amazing. You know, the reason why I get up every day and go to work too is because I also want to leave my kids with something. And let me ask you, Alfred, do you happen to have this property in the living trust? I would already know the answer because I'm already looking at the property profile. And if it doesn't say that Galvan living trust, that he doesn't have it in the living trust. If it
right.
says Alfred Galvan, that he doesn't have a living trust, or it seems like, you know, hasn't been updated yet. And that would be a conversation to have with them. You know what, Alfred? Sounds like you're kind of busy, but I would love the opportunity to give you more information on how to properly protect this property and avoid probate should something happen to you, so that your kids don't have to lose 20 to 30% of that asset into attorneys and court fees. Would you like me to email you some information?
Okay.
So you're no longer talking to them about selling the home, but guess what's going to happen? You're giving them value, you're giving them information. If they ever do want to sell this property, guess what they're going to think about? So sometimes we're looking for that home run, and think of it as a baseball game. You know, the game of baseball is won by just getting players into first base, second base, third base, and eventually bring them home. From time to time, by making this call, you're gonna hit a home run. You're gonna get someone like says, you know what? Actually, last night my wife and I were talking about it, and we're actually going to sell this home. This is your godsend, and it's happened to me where Santa's my first call that I make. It's like, yeah, we're ready to sell. What can we get together?
Mm-hmm.
So you're creating your own luck by making those calls and putting yourself in the situations, but just come from a place of caring. What can you offer them besides the services of selling this asset? What I mean, create yourself, you know, an attorney for living trust, you
Right.
know, and all bunch of stuff that you can provide value, and eventually when it's time, they're gonna think of nobody else but you.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Sharon, another thing is every time you make a phone call, we're all looking for a no. You have to get a lot of no's before you get that yes.
Right.
No is just a layup. That means your next opportunity is in the other call. Sometimes a no can be a brush off, right?
Right.
So what you got to remember is like when you're making this call, you got to do a little bit of fact finding. You want to acknowledge what they're saying and listen, and then isolate it, and then come up with the question. I completely understand you're going to save this for your kids. Let me ask you this. Are you open for, you know, like Carla said, buying a bigger place for your kids and blah, 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 whatever the case is. But you want to have an easy transition. Now, Sharon, one thing I did, you know, I haven't been in real estate a long time, but I can tell you I master my scripts. one thing that I can tell you is you're only going to get that objection maybe every other fifth call. So you need to write it down and then bring it to like this community right here. We're here every Wednesday. The
Mhm.
next time you get that objection, write it down and then you bring it to us and then we role play
Okay.
that objection.
Okay.
Now, in my screen, I don't know if all of you guys can share my screen. These are all objection killers. And these are the things you're going to get on the phone. I'm just looking. The prices are too high. Alfred, I don't want to buy. I'm not buying. I'm just browsing. We're just shopping. I'm not a decision maker. I need my wife here or my husband here. I'm not doing this until next year or until the elections are over. I hear this every day. So I don't know if you guys can see this. I can share this on the chat. But you got to learn how to deal with these objections. And remember, these objections are not conditions. A condition's this. And sometimes we get it confused. Oh, I'm not selling Arlen. My wife is a realtor. That's a condition.
Okay.
Now, the way I would spin that around, I'm like, awesome, your wife's a realtor. What's her name? I probably know her. I probably done a deal with her. A matter of fact, would your wife be open to co-listing? Now you're going to hire 2 agents for the price of 1. See that?
I do.
No one thing kills the deal. No one thing kills the deal. Your job is to fact find, ask questions, isolate their answers, and keep moving forward, right?
Right.
I'm going to share this screen, this PDF on the chat, but first of all, I want to thank you for sharing your call. It's not easy. I know you're in a room full of strangers, but once again, this is a safe place. And this is awesome to hear those objections. Today we have over 30 people in this call, which is awesome. Hopefully next Wednesday we have 50 people because we all need help here. We're all here from different companies and we're all here from different walks of life. So once again, Shireen, thank you for sharing. Everybody give her a virtual high five.
High five to me.
I can't wait for the next. So anybody else going through something like that or they want to share a great story of what happened with them. Anybody, unmute yourself once again. This is open for everybody. We're not moderator. We're not on Clubhouse. You can unmute yourself here. There's no moderators. Anybody want to?
May I say something?
Absolutely.
This would be for Miguel, how he feels uncomfortable with the role playing and all of that. I want to mention that when I first started, I felt exactly the same way. Was very super uncomfortable. And what I found though, that the more I did it, the easier it became, to the point where now I'm able to see the value of it. And it's just, even if you don't participate in the actual role playing, as long as you're around it and you hear it, the more you get involved with it, the easier it becomes. And all of a sudden, when you're out there in the field, it becomes part of your conversation. And then it finally clicks. It finally clicked on me that it works. And then once I realized that, my participation became a lot easier.
Well said, Maria. Well said. And I think a lot of agents feel the same way. I remember when I was with Arlen when I started, I didn't want to sound like a robot. It just didn't make me feel comfortable reading a script, right? So I completely understand Miguel. I know where he's coming from. But I can also tell him, because I want to shorten his way to success, right? I can tell him that once you learn your scripts, your confidence goes so high, you can close anybody, anytime, anywhere. And I do it all the time. I do it to my spouse, and she's not hearing me. I always agree with her. This is the thing, and we all know here is the number one cause between couples is, where are we going to go eat today? Right, Jesse? And you're laughing. Because Jesse can say, oh, well, where would you like to go? I don't know where you want to go. And Jesse can say, I want to go eat tacos. I don't want to go eat tacos. So that could be a little argument, right? So what I do is that, hey, where would you like to guys go eat today? Or we're going to Olive Garden. Hey, I agree with you. We should go to Olive Garden. But I think we just had it last week. Why don't we go to El Tepeyac and have a burrito? Always agree with somebody. You always want to agree with them. Trust me, it's the easiest way out. Agree, agree, agree. even if you don't want to agree with them. Jesse, go ahead.
Well, it's so funny that you say that, because one of the things that, you could do is you could pre-plant the question into them. So, hey, Alfred, weren't you talking about having sushi last week?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Maybe we can get together, because as a matter of fact, that's what I really wanted to go eat, was sushi. But now that I made it Alfred's idea, it's a no-brainer. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, there you go. It's just those little things, guys, that are gonna separate you from the rest. Now I'm telling you, I'll tell you one more time. Learn your scripts. I know it's not good. I see Arlen raises his hand. When you learn your script, I can promise you, guarantee you, by the grace of God, don't worry about being a closer. Worry about being an opener. When you open right, everything follows. Then worry about closing later.
Yeah.
Right now, go ahead, Arlen.
No, I was gonna say, start, answering a question with a question, because that gets you to, to dig a little deeper, right? For example, with my significant other, they're like, okay, where are we gonna go eat? I immediately, because, again, being scripted, right? I'm like, you're not gonna believe, you won't even be able to guess where we're gonna go eat. It's one place we wanted to go eat. This place? Oh my God, you guessed it. Yes, that's where we're going. Because like Alfred said, if you start giving them options, it's no, 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 right? But just it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And to be quite honest with you, again, Alfred's touching this over and over and over, is being scripted so that things just come natural to you. You don't want to sound like you're reading something, or let me go to that page of the book, what to say. There's a lot of things. There's actually a book that says, what to say. I forgot the full name of it, but that has a lot of good little scripts on a lot of stuff. Just learn it, practice it, teach it, because when you teach it, you also become a pro at it.
Each one teach one, right? Now I just shared right now on the chat. I'm gonna be sharing other stuff. Anybody want to anybody has anything else they want to share? This is a time to share. This is a safe place for you to share. Anybody not making calls and want to make a call but doesn't know how to make a call, please unmute yourself. I do respect everybody's time. We try to keep these calls for 1 hour. It is 9:46, so we got a couple more minutes to ask questions or go into another role play. This is the time to get uncomfortable, because I'm telling you, where you get uncomfortable, that's where growth takes place.
Hey,
Growth,
Alfred.
yes, sir.
Hey, yes, everybody. I was wondering, how do you handle objections for first-time realtors with no past experience?
Beautiful. So right now, you don't have bad habits, which is the most beautiful thing right now. You're a sponge. Right now, your job is to absorb as much as you can from people in your office, right? So let me ask you this question. Who are you calling right now?
Well, I'm just talking to a bunch of my coworkers. I'm not really cold calling or anything as of right now. But
So you're talking to your circle of influence.
correct.
Got it. And what do you tell them in this conversation? You let them know that you just became an agent?
Yeah, so I asked them, if they're interested in buying or selling a property, that I could help them out with that. And some of them were asking me, have I had any past experience of any past sales? And from there, I just said I'm a newly licensed agent.
Beautiful. This is what we're gonna do. What company are you with?
I'm with House Steer.
Beautiful. So one thing you gotta do is flex your company. Hey, I'm with Houster. We're a team of 100 agents, and when you hire me, all my agents are gonna let their sellers know or buyers know about your home. Flex your company. That's number one. Number two is you don't have to say you're a new agent. Get that out of your vocabulary. Just say, hey, have you ever thought about buying? Right? What do you see yourself in the next 5 years? It's called the frog formula. I'm gonna put it on the chart. When you're talking to somebody, for example, let's say your best friend from high school, you don't just want to call and say, hey, Arlen, are you thinking about buying? No, okay, click, and then call. Hey, Miguel, are you thinking about buying? No, click. No, 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 no. You call them and you use the frog formula. What is the frog formula? F stands for family. When you call somebody, you're gonna have a conversation. You already know, hey, Arlen, how's your family? Then you talk. Great. And then the R is for relationships. Hey, Arlen, are you still going out with so-and-so or so-and-so? And do you still talk to so-and-so and so-and-so? Right? Hey, the O is for occupation. Hey, Arlen, are you still working at Amazon? Right? And then the G is for your goal. Hey, Arlen, in the next 5 years, do you see yourself becoming a homeowner or a landlord? But remember, I'm just giving it to you right now, a crash course, but try to have the frog formula in a conversation. Does that make sense, Peter?
Yes.
When you call somebody, remember the F is for family, R is for relationship, O is for occupation, and G is for goals. Like what are their goals? So by you remembering those acronyms, you're gonna be like, damn, okay, we're having a cool conversation. Plus, you already know the person versus you calling a lead that was given to you. Now, real quick, I want to go back to Sharon. Sharon, I forgot to mention it, guys, and I need all of you guys to keep this in mind. If somebody tells you, do you have a buyer for me? Always say, yes, I'm your buyer for the right price. Do not lie about it. And even if you don't have money to buy that house, you don't need money to buy a house. I'll tell you that right now. Call Jesse, 1-800, call Jesse the Ghost, 1-800, call Arlen Perla, the man, the myth, the legend. You do not need money to buy real estate. Let me tell you that because that's a big misconception. You do not need money to buy real estate. I'll say it one more time. Wholesalers do it all the time, but that's a different conversation. But Peter, back to you. Sharon, I just want to let you know that next time an absentee owner says, do you have a buyer for me? Say, yes, I am the right buyer for the right price. All right, back to Peter. Peter, now, on the chat.
The right buyer for the right price.
That's right, Julio. There you go. So in the chat, I did 2 things for you guys. If you're gonna start role playing, I put the 5 rules of role playing. It's pretty cool. I done this before. So what you do when you're gonna be role playing, make sure you're practicing with only people who are actually making calls, people who are gonna making appointments. Number 2, no small talk. That means if you're gonna be calling Jesse the Ghost, don't call Jesse and your call to be, hey Jesse, did you see the Lakers? No, go straight into the role play. Number 3, practice like if it's a real scenario, like we just did with Sharon. We gotta practice like if it's real, because if we don't, then you're gonna feel like this is fake. Maybe that's the reason Miguel feels that way. Number 4, very important, when you're making calls, try to stand up. You will sound more exciting versus leaning forward like this. Like, people want to talk to exciting people. I don't want somebody to call me all depressed. And number 5, always give the desired outcome. Even though we know it's a role play, give them the appointment. Set them up for the appointment so that they can feel like, oh shit, this is what it takes to get an appointment. Because at the end of the day, the more calls you make, the more appointments. The more appointments, the more contacts, the more contracts. That's just plain and simple, guys. So I'm sharing this with you here. Every week I'm going to have a PDF. Does anybody have...
What did I miss? What did I miss?
Uh-oh, that's Mr. Stephen White.
Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that?
What would you like me to repeat?
I'm just kidding, man. I appreciate you, Alfred. You're an amazing man, dude. I appreciate you, dude.
Hey, man, I'm always here to give back. I told myself that when I was in a position to give back, that's what I'm going to do, because I remember when I started real estate, and the only person that knows here, Arlen, he knows I struggle. Guys, just so you know, I failed my test 10 times. 10 freaking times, right, Arlen?
Be honest, it was 12.
All right,
10 times.
12. I failed, and that's why I 10x everything. I kid you not, guys. I remember every single failure. I have it on my wall here. I printed those papers that said, I'm sorry, you have to redo the test. I'm sorry. And within 6 months, I failed 10 times. And I remember on October 16th, the day I passed, I was crying in the elevator like a big baby. I'll never forget that story. And the only person I called first was my wife, because she knew how badly I wanted to be an agent. And I told myself, when I become a real estate agent, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna become a student so that people could pour on me, because I don't ever want to show up to these Zoom calls thinking I know everything when you're supposed to show up with an empty cup so they can pour on you. And we got some legends here. You guys know who you are. You don't need me to name you. It's super awesome being on these calls, man. And it's awesome, guys, to be a part of a community. But does anybody have anything they want to share? Any takeaways from this call? I know we have a few lenders here as well. Please feel free to unmute yourself. We got 7 more minutes. Once again, I keep saying that because I want to respect everybody's time. I know some people are here from the East Coast and the West Coast, but open mic.
Alfred, I'd like to say something. You know, you gotta, in this market right now, like if you keep watching the news and hearing people, you're gonna get distracted and then you're gonna fall by the wayside. You cannot have a scared mindset. You have to create your market in this market. You are a walking business. You have to find a way to keep, if you cannot keep your doors open, then what happens? Your business shuts down, and that's what's going to happen to you as an agent. So find your market. Don't be scared. Stop listening to anything. If you keep doing your daily activities, remember, perfect practice makes perfect. And don't, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to get you're going to enjoy the fruits of your labor. But if you expect instant gratification, then you're setting yourself up for failure. So don't do that. Just keep doing your routines, find your market, don't be scared, and don't focus on the negative stuff out there. Because when we leave this earth, there's still going to be real estate agents. Real estate's still going to be going. People are still going to be talking, and it's the same shit. So find your market and make it happen.
Awesome, Jesse. I would like to hear from somebody new on this call, and I see a lot of names that I don't know. Any takeaways, anything that you would like to hear on the next call? And before you unmute yourself real quick, I posted 2 links. We have a link called Real Closers, which is a group, a community where we all work together and we share ideas, we share PDFs, we share marketing. It's called realclosers.com. And then I also posted another link for our Zoom call tomorrow. We have a very special guest tomorrow. We're trying to get people that are doing over $100 million in sales, and they're going to teach us how to handle these objections or how they're dealing with NAR in other states. You could register for that. That's free also on Zoom tomorrow at 12. But does anybody else have any other takeaways or anything that you guys want to share? Please unmute yourself. I would love to hear from somebody new.
I'll go. So thank you, Alfred, for being here and doing that. This is my first time jumping into this call, so I really appreciate it. I love the role playing. For the new guy, that when I was the new person, the new agent in my area, I used to tell people when they would ask, how long have you been in the business? I would say, you know what, I'm fresh out of class. I know everything that needs to be known about real estate right now. The greatest thing is that I'm not 20 years in the business and haven't learned all the new laws and everything, and I don't have to try to retrain for that. I know everything, the newest laws there is to protect you. I also come with a mentor that's by my side, that's been in the business for this amount of time, and they will be overlooking every single transaction and document to make sure that you have 2 agents working on your behalf for the price of 1.
You got me sold. You got me sold. I don't know if you can see the logo, but
Yeah, I can.
I got props here in my office, guys. I have all kinds of props when I'm talking to people. So that's freaking awesome.
The other little thing that I do is mine is Ford, F-O-R-D, not found on the road dead, but family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, which is the same as your frog. But if anybody can't remember frog, Ford.
That's freaking awesome. I can't wait for you to share a next story on our next call. Anybody else? I do see Lisa going back and forth. Lisa, how are you, Lisa? I don't want to pronounce your last name wrong. Schofield?
Yeah, Schofield. No.
Lisa, introduce yourself. I never seen you before.
I'm new. I'm new here.
Are you a new agent?
No, I've been an agent for a long time, so I'm trying to get my mojo back.
Beautiful. What city are you from?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Phoenix. Awesome. So the next time I have somebody, are you close to Bullhead?
No.
No. Okay.
It's a little farther away. Totally different market. But so I guess I just don't know where to start when it comes to diving in. I'm not really that nervous about calling people, but I think, who should I call? Where should I start? I just, what's going to be the best use of my time? Because there's so many people to call.
So real quick, great question, by the way. So here's where I'm at, right? So you got to know who your audience is, or did you refer to me like, Alfred, where can I get my first paycheck in the next 90 days?
Say that again.
I said, I'm asking a double question. Is the question I'm trying to understand your question is like, you're saying, who do I call, right? Okay, so my question is,
I used to make calls and I just felt like they were just a waste of my time. People weren't ready, and how long do I need to start calling to keep calling them to ever get any business when there's so many people to focus on, people that you meet at open houses, people that you've met in the past, clients that you have in your sphere that aren't going anywhere for a while. I just don't know anymore.
Got it. So here's what I would do if I was you, right? I would really double down and first and foremost be like, who do I want to work with? Do I want to work with buyers, or do I want to work with sellers? That's the number one thing I would want to do first. Number two is, where am I going to get the fastest paycheck? How am I going to get that? And right now, open houses are gold. Everybody going to an open house right now is there for one reason only. They're either there to buy or sell. And a lot of the times people are showing up right now. Some are with agents and some are with no agents. So you have to narrow down as, okay, who's going to be my target audience and where can I get paid in the next 90 days? Those are the first two things before you even get on the phone and start calling. Because if I give you a gun with a bunch of bullets and you're just shooting and I don't give you targets, like you say, you feel like you're wasting your time. Now, a lot of people don't like to make phone calls, and I completely understand. So if you don't like to make phone calls, one thing that I would say is door knocking is awesome. Door knock the area. And there's two types of door knocking. There's prospecting door knocking and there's farming door knocking. Farming means that you're going to be planting seeds in a 2,000-mile radius, or I don't know, 2,000 homes around. I hear a couple mics open. Farming is where you want to farm an area for the next 6 months and plant seeds and water those seeds, and eventually something comes out.
That's what I started to do.
Beautiful. Prospecting is, let's say somebody in your office got a new listing and you're using a dialing system and say, hey, we just listed a new property here in Arizona, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a pool. Do you know anybody who's thinking about buying or selling and moving in the area? That is prospecting, where you're just making calls to try to let everybody know about whatever you're selling or buying in the area.
I like that. Yeah.
So definitely, I'm telling you, door knocking, open houses are the number one thing right now. Because there's a lot of baby boomers out there that don't have fancy phones. They don't check their emails. There's still a lot of baby boomers out there.
Yeah.
So that might be, you got to find a niche also. We have somebody in our office who's a probate specialist. He only deals with probates. Find your niche. Find your niche, Lisa. But that niche needs to spark you every day to say, damn, I'm going to wake up today and I'm going to help somebody. But if you're just saying, I'm just dialing for dollars, no. You're not Charles. Charles is a guy who's looking for wholesale properties. He's looking for wholesale properties because he wants to buy distressed homes. Right? You're not doing that.
Well, that's the thing. I know that when it comes to the listings, I do open houses for other agents, and I sometimes have my own listings, but I haven't been prospecting very much or at all. And they're terrible at how they list these houses. And then they're asking me for advice. And I'm thinking, I am such a better realtor when it comes to these listings. Why aren't I getting the listing? How can I get more listings?
Yeah, so the only way that's gonna happen is, once again, you got to prospect, right? The way you're gonna get new listings is call expires and for sale by owners. Because just like you said, those are terrible agents. Maybe they didn't do their job. They're gonna hire you. You gotta let them know what your feature, your benefits, and advantages of working with Lisa. Do you know what they are? What is an advantage working with you? If I was a seller and I had a bad experience, I said, well, what are you gonna do different, Lisa, than Charles? Because he told me the same thing you said, and all you agents sound the same. You guys are all using the Mike Ferry scripts. So I already know what you're gonna tell me. What are you gonna do different, Lisa, to get my home sold this time around?
Well, first of all, I've never taken Mike Ferry, so my is going to be based on experience and what's worked in the past on other listings that I've taken. And one of the things that I do is I individualize how we're going to market your home and how we're going to get it sold. Some homes need more attention up front, meaning we need to get it set up so when the buying public actually sees it, they feel good about it and want to offer you top dollar. And all homes need the correct marketing, but some need different aspects. So that's what you and I are going to go over together once I see your home. What's most important to you right now? Do you want to get your home sold quickly, or are you trying to get top dollar for it, or do you want to know that it's going to get sold this time?
Got it. No, you're absolutely right. You know, you like you said, you said you were into real estate before, then you went away and came back.
No, I never left.
You never left. You're just, the only problem right now is you not getting enough listings.
I became a loan officer, and so I didn't do as much. So now I'm combining the two. And then people know when I list your home, I also qualify the buyers and their requalifications to make sure they're actually requalified correctly and not just a worthless piece of paper.
Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for sharing. And hey, now I know a new friend in Phoenix, Arizona. Hopefully I do get to go one day to Dodger training camp sometime. But once again, the Dodgers have their training camp somewhere over there.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're from Los Angeles, born and raised in Lincoln Heights.
Okay.
The Heights.
Yeah, give me some high fives. Hey. Well, first and foremost, guys, I know sometimes we go over the minutes. I want to tell you that I appreciate everybody in this